There are two types of GMC owners, the ones writing 5-figure repair checks, and the ones using 10 simple tricks to avoid them entirely. These aren't mods. They're not illegal. They're steps GM documented but never advertised, because they'd rather sell you the repair than teach you the prevention. Some take 5 minutes, some cost $20. All of them work. Here's all 10, starting with the one that prevents the most expensive repair on your truck. Trick number 1, transmission relearn after fluid change. The most expensive repair on a modern GMC isn't the engine, it's the transmission. And there's a 5-minute procedure that prevents thousands in damage, but almost nobody does it. When you change transmission fluid, your TCM, transmission control module, still has shift data calibrated to the old fluid. Different viscosity, different friction, different clutch engagement points. Fresh fluid changes all of that, but the TCM doesn't know. It's still shifting based on fluid that's not in the truck anymore. The result, harsh shifts, delayed engagement, and accelerated clutch wear. Not immediately catastrophic, but over 20, 30, 40,000 miles, you're grinding down clutch packs with every shift. The fix is a transmission relearn procedure. On most GMC trucks, it's simple. Engine at operating temperature. Shift through every gear while stopped. Park, reverse, neutral, drive, back to park. Then drive through a specific pattern. Gentle acceleration from a stop, moderate acceleration to highway speed, steady cruise, and coast down deceleration. The TCM monitors all of it and rebuilds its adaptive tables. Takes about 10 minutes. Some model years need a scan tool to initiate the relearn. Any OBD2 scanner with GM-specific functions can do it. You don't need dealer equipment. A transmission shop owner told me half the transmission problems he sees are adaptive learning issues after a fluid change. The customer changed the fluid, skipped the relearn, and now the truck shifts rough. His shop charges $300 to reset adaptive tables and test drive. 5 minutes of actual work, all because nobody mentioned 2 words. Transmission relearn. Do this every time you change fluid. Your 6L80, 8L90, or 10-speed will shift smoother and last significantly longer. Now, the next trick prevents a different kind of damage, one that's happening inside your engine right now. Trick number 2, catch can for direct injection engines. If your GMC has a 5.3, 6.2, or 2.7 turbo, you have direct injection. And direct injection has a design flaw that GM won't fix from the factory. Old port injection engines sprayed fuel over the intake valves. That fuel washed the valves clean every combustion cycle. Direct injection bypasses the valves completely. Fuel goes straight into the chamber. So what cleans the valves now? Nothing. Oil vapor from the PCV system coats them, bakes onto the hot valve surface, and hardens into carbon. Over time, restricted airflow, rough idle, misfires, lost power. It's gradual. You won't notice it at 50,000 miles. By 100,000, you'll wonder why the truck feels sluggish. By 150, you're throwing codes. The dealer fix is walnut blasting, $500 to $800. They blast crushed walnut shells at the valves to strip the carbon off. It works. But the carbon comes right back because you haven't fixed the source. The actual prevention is a catch can. It installs in the PCV line between the valve cover and the intake manifold. Oil vapor condenses in the can instead of reaching the valves. Clean air continues to the intake. Dirty oil stays trapped. A quality catch can from Mishimoto or UPR runs $150 to $300. 1 hour to install with basic hand tools. After that, you just drain the can every few thousand miles, unscrew it, dump the collected oil, screw it back on. I've seen catch cans pull 2 to 4 ounces of oil every 5,000 miles. That's oil that would have baked onto your valves. Forum posts show owners who installed catch cans at 50,000 miles and pulled their intakes at 200,000. Valves still clean. Owners without catch cans? Walnut blasting every 60 to 80,000 miles just to keep the engine running right. GM could add a catch can at the factory for about $50 in parts. They don't. Draw your own conclusions. This next trick is even simpler. 10 minutes, $0. Trick number 3, throttle body relearn after cleaning. Carbon and oil residue build up on your throttle plate. You clean it, 10-minute job, spray and wipe. Easy. But then, your idle goes high, or it surges, or it runs rough, and you think you broke something. You didn't. You skipped a relearn. Your ECM stores data on how far the throttle plate needs to open to hold idle, calibrated to a dirty throttle body with restricted airflow. Clean it, and suddenly there's more airflow than the ECM expects. It overcompensates, opens the plate too far. High idle, surging, rough running. The fix: key on, engine off, wait 30 seconds. Key off, wait 10 seconds. Start the engine, let it idle for 3 minutes. Don't touch the gas. The ECM monitors airflow, recalibrates the idle position, and everything smooths out. Some years need a scan tool. Same OBD, 2 scanner from trick number 1 handles it. This is one of the most common "I broke my truck" moments in the DIY community. Forums are full of it. Guy cleans his throttle body, truck idles at 1200 RPM, he panics. The answer is always the same. You didn't break anything. Do the relearn. Clean your throttle body. Next, something every mechanic does on their own truck but never brings up to customers. Trick number 4, friction modifier for limited slip differentials. Most GMC trucks have a limited slip differential. The clutch packs inside it need a specific friction modifier in the gear oil to work properly. Without it, you get chatter, binding, and premature wear on turns. When those clutches grab and release without proper lubrication, you hear it, a rhythmic clunking or chattering noise when you turn in a parking lot. Most people think something's broken. It's not. It's dry clutch packs begging for friction modifier. The fix is a $15 bottle. GM part number 889000330. Aftermarket options from Redline and Royal Purple work too. 4 ounces added to the differential during every fluid change. That's it. Chatter gone. Clutches engage smoothly. Differential lasts as long as the truck. I've talked to owners who changed differential fluid, skipped the modifier, and immediately heard chatter in turns. Took it to the dealer. $300 to drain, add modifier, and refill. Nobody mentioned the modifier was needed until after it became a billable service. $15 prevents a $1,500 rebuild. Add it every time you service your differential. This next trick is free, and it might already fix a problem you're living with right now. Trick number 5, PCM and TCM software updates. GM releases software updates for your powertrain and transmission control modules regularly. Rough shifting, check engine lights, fuel economy problems, idle quality issues. Many of these have software fixes available, sometimes free, sometimes under warranty, sometimes for a diagnostic fee. But nobody calls you. Nobody sends a notification. The updates sit in GM's system, waiting for someone to look. One owner I know had a 2019 Sierra with harsh 3-2 downshifts. Took it to the dealer 3 times. They couldn't find anything wrong, charged him a diagnostic fee each visit. On the 4th visit, a different tech checked for software updates, found a TCM calibration that specifically addressed harsh downshifts. 15-minute install. Problem gone. That update had been available for 6 months, 3 wasted visits, 3 diagnostic fees, all because nobody checked for updates first. Here's what to do. Call your dealer's service department, give them your VIN, and ask if there are outstanding PCM or TCM updates for your truck. If there are, schedule the install. Some dealers do it free as goodwill. Others charge $100 to $150 for the labor. Either way, cheaper than chasing a ghost. Check once a year. Quick thing, if you're realizing you've been missing information that could save you thousands, hit subscribe. I put out videos like this every week so you don't have to learn the expensive way. Trick number 6, battery voltage, check for AFM and DFM health. If your truck has active fuel management or dynamic fuel management, this one matters. The solenoids that activate and deactivate cylinders are electrically controlled. They need consistent voltage, 14.2 to 14.5 volts, to operate cleanly. When your alternator starts to weaken and voltage drops below 14, those solenoids don't get full power. They hesitate, they stick, they wear faster. Over time, this can contribute to the lifter failures that AFM and DFM engines are notorious for. The problem is invisible. Your truck still starts fine. Lights work, radio works. The dash doesn't warn you. But the AFM solenoids are being starved of the voltage they need to cycle properly. And every time they stick or hesitate, they're one step closer to failure. The fix takes 30 seconds. Test battery voltage with a multimeter while the engine is running. If you're below 14 volts, your alternator is weakening. Replace it before it takes your lifters with it. An alternator costs $150 to $300. An AFM lifter replacement costs $5,000. Check once a year. 30 seconds with a multimeter. Now, the silent killer of modern automatics. Trick number 7, transmission temperature monitoring. Your GMC has no transmission temperature gauge. Think about that. The second most expensive component on the truck, and GM gave you zero visibility into whether it's overheating. Transmission fluid breaks down fast above 250 degrees. At 300, it's cooking. At 350, you're doing permanent damage to clutches, seals, and torque converter internals. Towing, mountain passes, hot days, and traffic. All push temperatures well above normal. You'll never know it's happening until the transmission slips or goes into limp mode. A guy I know tows a 30-foot camper through the Rockies every summer. First trip, no gauge, no idea what his temperatures were doing. Installed an aftermarket temp gauge before trip 2. First, mountain pass. He watched it climb past 240. He backed off. Now when it hits 230, he pulls over for 10 minutes, lets it cool, and keeps going. 200,000 miles on the original transmission. Still shifts like new. Without that gauge, he would have cooked the transmission on that first mountain pass and never known until it was too late. Edge, Banks, and Autometer make plug-and-play kits for GMC trucks, $150 to $300, 1 hour to install. GM decided you don't need to see your transmission temperature. You do. Trick number 8, annual coolant system pressure test. When a cooling system component starts to fail, a hose, a gasket, a radiator seam, it doesn't always leak visibly. It leaks under pressure first. No puddle on the ground, no temperature spike on the dash, just slow, invisible pressure loss that drops your coolant level over weeks and months. By the time you notice, either the temperature gauge finally moves or you see coolant on the ground. You've been driving with low coolant. The engine has been running hotter than it should. Head gaskets are stressed, and the repair bill is $3,000 or more. Fleet managers test every truck in their fleet once a year. It's standard preventive maintenance. Individual owners almost never do it. A pressure tester costs $30 to $50. Attach it to the radiator cap or coolant reservoir. Pump it up to the system's rated pressure, usually 15 to 18 psi, and watch the gauge. If pressure holds for 2 minutes, you're sealed. If it drops, you've got a leak somewhere. 10 minutes of your time. Finding a $20 hose leak before it becomes a $3,000 head gasket job. That's the entire point of this trick. Test once a year. Cheapest insurance you'll ever buy for your engine. This one's diesel specific, but Duramax owners don't skip it. Trick number 9, fuel pressure monitoring for Duramax HPFP. When a Duramax high-pressure fuel pump fails, it doesn't just stop working. It sends metal shavings through the entire fuel system. Injectors, rails, lines, total contamination. The repair bill is $8,000 to $12,000 because you're not just replacing the pump. You're replacing everything it touched. But the pump doesn't fail without warning. It loses pressure first, slowly. The engine still runs, power still feels normal, but rail pressure is dropping below spec, and the pump is dying from the inside out. Any OBD2 scanner with diesel-specific functions can read fuel rail pressure in real time. Monitor it at idle and under load. Compare to the factory spec for your engine year. If pressure is consistently dropping below where it should be, your pump is on borrowed time. Replace it before it grenades. A new high-pressure fuel pump costs $1,500 to $2,200. That's not cheap. But it's a fraction of the $12,000 bill you'll get when the pump fails catastrophically and contaminates everything downstream. Diesel shops check this on every truck that walks through the door. It's standard diagnostic procedure. If you own a Duramax, make it your standard too, once a year. 5 minutes with a scan tool. Last trick, simplest one on the list. Been around since 1942. Trick number 10, Seafoam treatment every oil change. Seafoam is a petroleum-based cleaner that dissolves carbon, varnish, and gum deposits. It's been proven for 80 years. It works, and it's one of the best preventive maintenance products you can put in a GMC engine. 2 ways to use it. In the crankcase, add 1 ounce per quart of oil, about 500 miles before your oil change. It circulates through the engine, cleans oil passages, dissolves deposits in the PCV system, and loosens carbon on pistons and rings. When you drain the oil, it'll come out noticeably darker than usual. That's the dissolved deposits coming out. That's the product doing its job. In the fuel tank, 1 can every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Cleans fuel injectors, dissolves combustion chamber carbon, keeps the entire fuel system flowing freely. Especially important for the direct injection engine, the 5.3, 6.2, and 2.7 turbo. Regular seafoam treatments slow the carbon buildup that catch cans prevent. A can costs $10 to $12, maybe $50 a year added to your total maintenance cost. Compare that to a $500 intake cleaning or a $1,000 injector service. Mechanics use it on their own trucks. Fleet operators buy it by the case. It's an open secret that somehow stays a secret. 10 tricks, all documented, all effective. A transmission relearn that prevents harsh shifts. A catch can that stops carbon buildup. A throttle body relearn that fixes your idle. Friction modifier for your differential. Free software updates that fix known problems. A voltage check that protects your AFM system. A temp gauge that prevents transmission overheating. A pressure test that catches leaks early. Fuel monitoring that saves your Duramax. And seafoam that keeps everything clean. The owners writing 5-figure repair checks didn't know these existed. The owners getting 300,000 miles are doing all 10. Which type are you going to be? If you want the full maintenance routine that adds 200,000 miles to your GMC, watch this next. And if you're shopping for a truck, check out my video on the powertrains to buy and the ones to avoid. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.